Is Kevin Durant actually top five? This is what we're gonna talk about. Because I was on Twitter yesterday and I caught KD arguing with not some fans, with some content creators on Twitter Spaces about his ranking in the league, and that actually sparked an interesting conversation. So before we even get into this, we're gonna play what KD had to say, and we're gonna come back and react to it.
Embiid or Giannis, I can understand why it supersedes everything else that you may be lacking in contrast to someone else, like the playmaking from Luka. That's fine, but if it's because of the high value that they have, or the high valuation they have on scoring, but unfortunately, niggas never say that. They bring up things that are applicable against you as well.
I just think how y'all even look at the game is whack as fuck. Like, playoff success, like you factor in team success when you talking about players. I just think how y'all consume the game is trash. Like, are you good or not?
I agree.
I mean, some things could be that simple. Are you just good or not? I mean, a lot of people have seen it for a long time, brother, and it's okay. These lists don't really mean nothing anyway. So why are you getting so upset about them? I mean, of course you're going to rank players. Of course you're going to compare errors and all of that stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean that I like it. Of course it's going to go down like that, but I like players for what they bring to the table individually. And circumstances and context matters a lot, and it's hard to dive into the context with so much conversation being had. You know what I'm saying?
So how you feel about good? Wait, how you feel about? So basically, it's for you. It's you're good or not. That's all it is. If you good, you good. You not. Simple.
It's really that simple.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I mean, you're gonna have your moments, and certain moments gonna matter more than others, and you want to see dudes producing those moments. All of that shit is cool, but like at the end of the day, you know if that player is good.
Yeah. So you don't.
So what about?
All right, so y'all heard the man. So I would like to pay my respect to Kevin Durant first of all, because at first I didn't like the fact that he was on Twitter arguing with fans and everything on social media, because that just looked lame, and he was doing it through a burner account. I was like, come on, bro, if you're gonna do it, step out there and stand on what you believe, right? And I guess my perception of him doing it is different now, because people like to dehumanize athletes or people that make a lot of money. And we got to keep in mind that we are talking about this guy's craft. Like, the guy stays in the gym all the time. He does not come. Sometimes he forgets to even put lotion and everything just because he's playing basketball, right? So for us to go out there on Twitter and kind of attack his craft, his legacy, of course it's gonna hurt in some kind of ways, especially now that I'm on YouTube and I'm trying to, go somewhere, do this on a daily basis. I don't really get like negative comments like that, but every time I got one, it kind of stung. Like, although I'm not a sensitive guy by any means, if you knew me in real life, but when it comes to my work and everything, it kind of hit different. So I understand KD for that. With that being said, I do agree with the first part of his argument when he was talking about the way people consume the game is actually whack, and that people put too much stock on team success over individual skills. I do agree with that, because, man, like this ring or this winning culture has just gotten out of hand, in my opinion. It takes a lot of stuff out of, is the superstar great, to actually win a championship. So we can say whatever we want about KD's rings. I don't really like the fact that he had to go to the Warriors to get them, but it's still hard to win, So, and it's only one superstar that wins every season. So according to some guys, man, if you out there, you go to the finals and you lose, you choked or whatever, like that doesn't make you great or whatever, and it's just stupid to me. So although I agree with that, KD, I still think that you're not top 5 in this NBA today. Like, when it comes to your legacy amongst the active players, you are absolutely top 5. But when it comes to today, right now, I'm not putting you top 5. I got Nikola Jokic, I got Giannis, and I got Steph Curry, that's for sure. And then the arguables are Joel Embiid and Luka Doncic. But I would still take both of these guys over you right now because Joel Embiid is a better two-way player than you. And just like you, he hasn't done anything recently in the playoffs. But in the regular season, he's the better player. Just got done winning MVP. And I can say the same about Luka. Not that much playoff success, but when it comes down to it in the regular season, I do believe that Luka Doncic brings more to the table than Kevin Durant. From a scoring perspective, they score just as much, although KD is more efficient. But Luka got the rebounding and the playmaking also, and he's had to do more with less. So I would have KD as 6th or 7th best player in the world currently. But the other part of what KD had to say that actually I dislike that part because I think it's just phony is what matters to me is are you good or are you not? And that we shouldn't really, be out there arguing basically about this and anything. What matters is what can you do on the floor? Are you good? Are you not? And according to that logic, like there's no conversation to be had about the NBA because obviously to make the NBA, all players have to be good, right? And I also believe that if KD was revered as the number one, he just wouldn't have those kind of takes, So to some degree, I understand the fact that some people do take the debates, the sports debates, way too seriously, and they make it personal for no reason, and there shouldn't be a place for that. But when it comes to just pure hoop talk, man, like we just love that. And you can't take that away from the fans. Like, that's ridiculous. And that also helps sparking the overall interest that surrounds the game and that puts money in your pocket, KD. You can't be out here being like, yeah, people shouldn't talk, shouldn't rank, shouldn't try and nitpick legacies and everything. This is kind of what drives the narratives that drive the attention to the games. And that helps you get paid. So without the media being so involved, without the fans being so involved, you wouldn't be able to make $40 million a year and have that freedom outside of the court to actually venture and other businesses. And you've been a fan too, and I'm quite sure when back in the days you was a fan, you was out there talking about, Kobe over whoever. Like, we all do that, and this is fun. So you have to be a good loser in that scenario, man. Not just because people are out here saying that you're not top 5. Now people should argue all these lists are meaningless. It's false. And if the lists were really meaningless, you wouldn't have on Twitter Spaces to defend yourselves in these lists. So yeah. So that's all I have to say about this, man. Get in the comment section and give me your thoughts about the two things that we discussed. Do you believe KD is the top 5 currently in the NBA? And do you agree with KD's take about the way we consume the game and what we should change about it? So it's been your boy. I appreciate you guys for checking me out. I'll see y'all later. Peace.